Hi, I'm Tom King. I'm the founder of Toolkit.law, and we're with our webinars director and attorney, Gigi Khan, who many of you have seen on many of our videos. Gigi, good to see you again. What are we talking about today, Gigi?
So today we're talking about Toolkit.law Litigation Suite. As many attorneys out there will be so interested to know more about this.
Absolutely. So if you look at the center of our homepage, you can see suites. And then those are our bullets to let you know what's inside each section. And we are, in fact, going to go into the suite section. And here you'll find one of the dozen or more suites is the litigation suite. Now, when we go into the litigation suite, we can see that it's about 15 different pages of tools that we have. A couple of them are merging together. For instance, I think the hearing manager is going to move into the litigator, but still all the accordions, all the content is going to be the same. So let's go ahead and talk about this because for many of the legal professionals, you're either supporting a litigator or you are a litigator. So let's go ahead and talk about these pages in order. The first is Backgrounder. Backgrounder is a very general purpose tool. Sometimes you need to do background checks or drug tests. So we are rolling out alcohol testing through our partner National Screening Center. Sometimes you need to do credit checks. We give you lots of different resources to find out different credit to run credit checks either on your clients or um, on your opposing parties. Sometimes you need to run a criminal background check. Many companies that do that, we don't offer that on our site yet, but we will someday. Um, Backgrounder, maybe you need to do a vehicle check, a driving background check on someone. You can check there. Maybe you need to do an employment check. So it's all different types of background checks that you can do. Now, of course, maybe you need to do a background for your computer. So we rolled that under here too. If you need a background for video conferencing, look at all these different backgrounds that we offer for you to use for either the background on any presentation you may put together, or if you want a background for a Zoom call, a Google Meet call, a Microsoft Team call. So kind of a general purpose thing to stick under there. If you need a background for social media or online, if you need to find someone's what they do on social media or online, there are companies that do background checks for their social media. Maybe you need to do a paternity test as part of a background test, or for your litigation. Through our back end partner national screening centers, we do offer paternity testing. Um, Maybe you need to do a background check for potential tenants if you do real estate law. We also offer saliva testing. The new type, the most advanced type of testing now for substance abuse is now also the least invasive. So through our partner in the background, National Screening Centers, again, you can go here and you can purchase their services right on our toolkit.law user web store that everybody gets when you have an account at toolkit.law, even the free 6-month account. Maybe you need background checks on people who are potentially sexual offenders. Maybe you need to do, we talked again about all purpose substance abuse testing and real estate testing. So that's our general purpose page, which we call Backgrounder. Next, as part of the litigation suite, the simple man version of Bates numbering. Okay. So we do offer Bates numbering. And what you do is you put in all the information regarding the case, regarding the settings, regarding the files you wish to upload. It automatically numbers the pages and the document and the batching. And then you can download the most recent version. You can download the most recent version. Soon we'll be connecting to your cloud drives so you'll be able to download it and re-access it. So we do Bates numbering right here. Next, we have in our litigation suite. One of my favorite things, right? One of my favorite things, the biller product. I
I
use
think
it.
that's something that attorneys would want to know more about.
Oh, my stars. This is great. And Gigi, I don't know if you've used it on your phone yet. It works great. I do all my time in billing on my phone. When I'm doing it, when I'm performing something, you document it right then and there, right, Gigi?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so many attorneys at times when they're working and they're busy with so many cases simultaneously, they forget to bill their time. I think having an application on your phone helps just keep track of how many hours you're putting in for whatever file you're working on.
That's right. So you put in all of your matter information here. You put in the
Can you share
client.
your screen again, Tom?
Absolutely. When did
Thank
I
you.
stop sharing my screen? How long ago?
Just a few seconds ago.
Okay, great. So here's all the matter information. So you create a new data box for your client right there. Here you can edit it or download it. Matter information, client information, and then billing information. And then there you have it. There you can see everything. And if you need to add something new, you just add it and you indicate if it's a credit, an expense, if it's paid, if it's a payment from them, or if it's work. And you can see here how it just organizes everything. And then it tells you where they stand, right? How much work you've done, how much they've paid, how much they still owe you on a case. And after you save it, you can then email them a summary and attach a download of the detailed file. So there's the summary of the work done. The email's ready to go, and then you attach the report. I absolutely love this tool, and we work so hard to get this client and matter accordion right. What you're going to notice is the client and matter accordion appears on like a dozen of our pages. Why? Because wherever you're doing work on a client, um, yeah, it's probably in Bates numbering, right? You'll see it. Yeah,
There it is, clients and
clients and matters. Maybe you're in your PDF editor. You're doing PDF work. No, it's not there. It's in lots of places. We put it in lots of places. Um, maybe probably in litigator or intaker. And yep, there it is. So you're going to see this accordion appear in about on a dozen different pages because no matter where you're at, we want to give you access to immediately account for your time and billing so that it's accurate and it's easy and transparent to do. So that is just a tool that I absolutely love. So it's the biller tool. We also have a tool called Discover to help you with discovery. Okay. And it helps you with all of your requesting for the discovery and receiving and keeping track of it. Okay. Next, after discovery, if you do family law or child welfare law, we called it divorcer. We really couldn't find a broader term. That, of course, all of our tools end in the letter R.
yep,
But you may just have a child custody case. Okay. And in that child custody case, you put all the case information, the father information, the mother information, what concerns you may have regarding abandonment or adultery or criminal activity, all the child information you put here on a spreadsheet or a table that organizes it, their income. And what's also great is we're now rolling out the ability to share this. So what you'll be able to now do is use Divorcer, have your client sign up for a free 6-month Toolkit.law account, and then tell them to go to tool section, and then the Divorcer tool, and tell them to to share a box of work, there will be a share icon right here where you'll be able to share it. It'll be added in the next month or so. By the time you're watching this, our share feature will be available, and you can share to your other team members in the law firm or with your client, and vice versa. You'll be able to share so they can do all the intake work for you. So that's divorcer. That's under child custody. Maybe it is an actual divorce. You have more paternity issues. You have property issues. They can organize here with all their assets and liabilities. If there's domestic violence involved, they can go through the questionnaire there. Also, notice something that we also put everywhere. Gigi, I think you've used this. Do you use the exhibit labeler yet?
No, I have not used it yet, but I know
Oh,
how useful it can be.
oh. So if you open up a file, so let's go to the desktop. Let's go to our test folder and let's upload something that we want to exhibit label, right? And I'm going to call it the plaintiff's exhibit. There's a type size. I'm going to call it exhibit 01. And with a case number, I can change the background color, the border color, and the opacity. Okay. And you're going to see the exhibit number right there. And you'll notice we can change it from the bottom left to the top right. We can move it around. We can change the size. We can change the dimensions of that box. And there it is right there. Now, what's great about our exhibit labeler? It does the exhibit on every page. It does it on every page. And to show how easy it is to change the color, maybe you want that to be orange or you want that to be red, but you also want to change the opacity maybe to 10% or to 80%. You can obviously change all that. So the exhibit labeler is really a great tool. So that's in Divorcer. It's also in the PDF editor. So this is a general purpose, all the topics you can deal with. If you deal with family law, you want to know our Divorcer tool. Going back to the suites, continuing in the litigation suite, Docketer. If you are a paralegal or a legal assistant managing multiple dockets, perhaps in multiple locations or for multiple attorneys, or just to keep everything organized for yourself, it'll organize a docket built around a day. You put in the client, the matter, the hearing, the court number, and the parking information. Now, you may say, well, I go to the same courts and I go to the same parking locations. Well, what you do is you add them down here and then they're always available up top. So start on Docketer, start down here, put all the different parking locations you would use, put all the different courthouses or court locations you would go to. Of course, if you're dealing with the docket, we always want to give you the ability to bill for it. So there's your billing tool, your clients and matters accordion there. And then when you're up here and you create something new, you'll be able to pull from the existing parking locations or an existing court location, or you can create one and it gets replicated. It gets replicated down here in the courts and in the parking locations. So it synchronizes. Gigi, how many different courthouses do you work out of?
So, in the federal capital of Pakistan, that's Islamabad, we actually have three locations where different courts are located. So one is inside the city in one sector. That's the district courts or the lower courts, right? The magistrate courts, civil courts, etc. Then we have the high court. That's also in another sector of the same city. So, and then we have the Supreme Court. That's also in another sector. So that would be three locations for
So
three
what
different courts.
All right, so what you're going to want to do in Docketer is you're going to want to complete those three locations, and you might also, if there are district clerk offices or federal clerk offices, if there are other resources, places that you go as part of the docket, Add them first. Then
Yeah.
add the parking locations. Add the parking locations here, including the full address, and it'll turn it into a Google Maps link, right? So in Houston, Texas, in the United States, if I go to 201 Caroline, Houston, Texas, 77002, and I save that parking lot. Okay, so that's the parking lot for it. Let's just call it jury parking lot. Okay, and I save it. The first thing is I can launch it. I can find it on Google Maps, right? There's the courthouse. Okay, that's the courthouse. And how's that for a courthouse, Gigi? That's our civil and family law courthouse right there.
Oh, that's
There,
impressive.
there's the jail. That's the criminal courthouse. That's the juvenile courthouse. And that's just a little bit of the complex, but that's where I spend a lot of my time right there.
Wow.
But then when I go back and to do the docket, when I go back to do the docket and I want to add a parking location, see, there's the jury parking lot. It's already added, so it'll already insert it here. So if I'm working on a docket or I'm printing it out or I'm accessing this, if you're a paralegal, you'll be able to share this day's docket, the May 20 docket. That date's supposed to be changing. We'll fix that. But the date should appear right there. Gigi, make a note that we're going to fix that. That seems to not be working. So on
Okay.
Docketer, the top accordion, send that to our team to make sure the
Yep.
dates 01 through 12 grab the docket date. And so it will sort chronologically, and you'll see it. It's a tool we just rolled out last month. We'll fix it in about an hour. Okay, great. Going back to the litigation suite, evidencer. Evidencer, exhibit labeling, exhibit listing. Many times you need to do file conversion. Look at all the different types of conversions we do. Audio file conversion, document conversion, image conversion, income conversion, number conversion, PDF file conversion, presentation file conversion, spreadsheet file conversion, video conversion for all the different types of files that you have, right? Okay. Plus we do image editing. Okay. So we offer image editing access to it right here. Okay. We have access to the video editing, the audio editing, because you're dealing with evidence, right? PGF merging, PDF converting, PDF editing. Okay. And there are all the different tools that we do right there. Okay. So that is your evidencer tool in the litigation suite. And remember, whenever you're inside something, well, this is a good example. Whenever you are in an accordion and you want to go amongst other tools that are within that suite, you access it right here. But if you're at the bottom of a page and you want to jump between suites, we have a Toolkit.law Suites at the bottom of every page, so you can jump between the suites. But if you're inside a tool that is part of a suite, then right here, you can jump between all these different tools within the creative suite or the litigation suite. The PDF tool is actually so valuable. It's both part of our creative suite and our document suite, as you can imagine. Let's go ahead and hop back out. What's a good example? So if I go into Bates numbering, I don't know if we consider that a document suite. No, it is. It's part of the litigation suite. But, it's so flexible. You could also see Bates numbering being within a document suite. So these are all if you want to toggle between all the tools within a particular suite, look for the Toolkit.law Suites icon in the content area. That's right, in the content area of any given accordion. But if you want to jump between suites, you can either do it by going to the home page, but maybe it's just quicker for you in the page that you're currently at to toggle to another one, like here, the litigation suite. And here we go. And now we're back in the litigation suite. So again, to get to the suites, you can do it from the home page, go into the suite section and select the suite that you want, or you can also go from the bottom of any page on our site. Because remember, every one of our pages is really a full website of tools, right? You know, this is 15 substantial tools within, this is like 15 different websites of information right here under our litigation suite alone. Let's go to Filer. I'll tell you how I use Filer. So, I like to keep notes on different clerks' offices and what they want, right? So some district clerks, if you're in a country where you can do electronic filing, they want the attachment merged into the PDF. Sometimes they
Yeah.
want the attachment or the proposed order not. Well, I don't know in your jurisdiction, but Gigi, in the state of Texas, in the United States, we have 254 counties, which is each their own. Each has its own different clerk, and doggone it, they can't agree on anything. They all have their own particular way of filing.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. I
So
mean, in
this,
Pakistan, we only have five. Yeah.
and yet they'll be different, right? So
Yeah, they're different.
you have Islamabad, um, Islamabad, and you may put notes here file proposed orders with with filed motions.
Yeah. Tom, could you share your screen again? It just
Oh yeah,
stopped
yeah,
sharing.
right. So so you can go in, so you can go into clerks, you can put the jurisdiction, and then you put whatever the notes are so that when you e-file it, you get it right, or you manually file it, depending on what you have in your country. So under the filer tool, this is what I love. What I'm really excited about is by the time you see this course, we will likely also be can allow you to connect to your Microsoft OneDrive, to your Apple iCloud Drive, to your Google Drive, to your Google Cloud account, to your Dropbox account, to your Box.com account, or to your iDrive. We're taking the top 7 to 10 cloud-based drives, and you'll be able to access them each within their own accordion right here under Filer to access your own drives. So that's something our team will be finishing up shortly. Back into the litigation suite, hearing manager is going to be merged into the litigator, but let's just talk about what we expect there in a hearing manager, in an intaker tool, in a litigator, because we're going to merge all three of these into one combined tool. Whether you're preparing for a hearing or you're in a hearing, maybe you need an alarm clock, maybe you need to remember what the burden of proof is for whatever type of case that you have. These are all your notes for your burden of proof. These are your notes for the case summary. Okay. Once again, your client matter billing accordion right there. What you want to ask on direct and cross examination, your exhibit list, everything. It's all right there. And of course, the same parking locations will come up automatically from across the site. Okay. So, hearing manager is what you do in the hearing and preparing for it. We also have an intaker tool so that as you do an intake of a client or a prospective client, it's organized. Okay. And then you can share it with that new client so they can add to it with their own free 6-month Toolkit.law account. And then litigator, because again, these three tools, hearing manager and intaker and litigator, they're all going to be combined into a new litigator super page. Okay. So all the things that you need to do regarding being a litigator, we try to put right under here. So that's the litigator tool. Mediator. As the attorney who invented online mediation in America in 2017, I also wanted a cloud-based tool to do mediations, whether as an attorney participating and representing a client or as a mediator. So first thing I need to do is I want the ability to generate a mediation memorandum. So we create the ability, but you put in your case, your pleading, your basic information, your details, and what your initial offer and whatever notes are that you want. So we help you generate your mediation memorandum generator. Okay. If you're a mediator, you can send this out to everybody. You can have a template. If it's a dispute resolution matter or it's mediation, whatever it is, you set your default subject fields and your introduction details, payment and conclusion paragraphs. And from now on, you have a template to send out either to your clients or to the participants of your mediation, and then you send it out to them. So you can have we give you the ability to have a standardized template which you customize as a mediator or arbitrator to send this out. So we have arbitration and mediation, and then the generic term dispute resolution. So this preparation tool is to send out to others so that they are preparing properly. Same with the participation. You can tell them how to participate in your mediation, where to physically park, or what to do online. Okay? If you can't decide on who to pick as your mediator, you can have Tom, and you can have Gigi, and you can have Jane, and you can have Ali, and we can have Herbert. Let's say you and the other attorney cannot agree on a mediator, but you'll agree on 4, and then you'll randomly select it. It'll randomly pick it. So if you say, hey, do we flip a coin or what do we do? We give you the ability to plug in the names you agree to, and it'll randomly, oh, look at that. Oh, no, it does not always pick me and put me as number 1, though that would be a good feature. Okay. Anyway, so confirmation, also offer analysis. Okay. So you can put in the amount of their offer. You can put in what you value to resolve this case 6 months early. It'll go through and it'll calculate whether or not to advise your client to accept the offer based off of what they're offering in actual money, plus what value you attach to an intangible, such as what's it worth to you to be divorced or to have this case resolved today rather than 15 months from now. Okay. And if you can't decide, if you need to decide on something and you can't, and you need to flip a coin, Gigi, pick heads or tails?
Tails.
Ah, you got me. So if the judge says flip a coin, you can do it on your phone or your device. Okay. Now you can keep track of everything in your mediation, put it on all your notes here. And I love this. You can download it as a Word file, a Word file for the modern format as a PDF. We also support the WordPerfect file format. We also have hooks into all these platforms, which is crazy. We have hooks in all these platforms. And you can obviously also email it and share everything. It'll put in all your notes here, and you can send that to your paralegal so she or he knows what you were doing. Okay. So that is the mediator tool. Going back to the litigation suite, we have just a few minutes left. PDF editor, so powerful. The signing tool and time calculators. I'm going to focus on these last three. Probably the tool I use the most, the PDF editor. It's part of so many of our suites. It's part of our creative suite. It's part of our document suite. It's part of our litigation suite, and it's part of our mediator suite. But if you want to add an image, add text, blur an aspect in a PDF file, and you select where you want to blur, and then you download it or you view it. You get to see it blurred. Okay. Compressing, deleting, removing. I don't need to show you all these because you understand all these. File conversion. What an extensive file conversion technology we've implemented right here. Oh, there's my blurred. Oh, look at that. There's my blur right there. And now I can download it. And look at all the different file formats that we do for file conversion for documents. You can apply a filter to a PDF. You can flatten it. If you're a technical PDF person, you'll understand what that means, especially if you're a creative person. We do flatten what they call levels. You can color highlight something. So if there's something you want to point out to the mediator, the arbitrator, the judge, or the jury, you pick the color that you want to highlight. Let's set the opacity very low, and let's highlight an area. And then you can highlight that, and you can move it, and you can delete it. And of course, again, you can download it once you're finished working on that PDF file. Image watermarking, that means to put a big logo in the middle of the page, but lower the opacity so it's in the background. I'm just going to show you probably one of my favorite things. Let's say you're doing something and you're making copies for the judge and the opposing counsel. Judge's copy. Oh, is this judge not going to love you? Right. So I want to put it in the top left corner. I want to make it much bigger. No, let's move it to the bottom. Every document's different. Bottom left. And there's your stamp that it's the judge's copy, right? You could put draft. You could put confidential. You can do so many different things. Let's switch color. Let's change the opacity to 50%. Let's put it in the bottom center. Oh, that was, I centered it. Okay, I centered it. Well, maybe what you want to do is this. Watch this. Confidential, angle, 45 degrees.
Wow.
This is such a powerful tool. And there are so many PDF sites and software packages that don't add this. We created this from scratch. So this is called our stamp tool. And look at all the different things: approved, accepted, canceled, copyright, court reporter's copy, do not copy, judge's copy, jury copy, opposing party's copy, patented, pending, rejected, urgent, any of these things, and it dynamically does all this. So proud of this tool and what our team did. I just want to see it at the bottom center. So you can see it at the bottom center. So there it is. Okay. So I strongly encourage you to look at the PDF tool. It's also, if you go under suites, Creative Suite, which is really our equivalent of Adobe Creative Suite. So there's our audio editor, our charting tool, our converter, our imager like Photoshop, and our PDF editor like Adobe Acrobat Professional, because we do Bates numbering and document signing within it, okay? We also have a standalone tool in our litigation suite called Signer. It overlaps with our PDF editor suite. our PDF editor, but in our signer, we handle electronic signatures, email signatures, font signatures, legal signatures. We even discuss wet signatures, which are old original signatures. There are lots of different types of signatures. I'm just going to point out the legal signature. We'll do a drawn signature that I'll just scribble on. I'll upload the file where I want it. There it is. Notice by default, we have the name, the email address, the IP address, the international date, and the international time. And of course, you can move this around. And you can also decide to duplicate this on all pages. This is a one-page document, but I could instantly sign the bottom left corner or initial all pages at once, right? And then when I want to download it, I'm going to just download it to my desktop. I'm just going to call it test document just to save us time. Whoop. Yes, I do. Then let's see how it turned out. And there it is. And that would appear on every page if that's how I chose to do it, right? So that is the signer tool. Then the last thing I'm going to point out is the time tool. You may have criminal or civil cases regarding whether or not what the deadline will be, or if you missed or made a deadline. It might be something regarding whether someone's a minority, a minor, or an adult. You can do a date calculator, alarm clocks, explaining AM and PM for people from 24-hour times. You can have a countdown, another date calculator, days between dates calculators. We do a lot of this. GMT versus UTC. If you don't know, go check it out. A legal bill calculator, a legal hours calculator, a legal rate calculator, a military time calculators. So if you're dealing with military time as opposed to 24-hour time, there are differences. You might need to know that, okay? Time remaining, time to decimal, because in many countries we bill in the 10th of an hour, right? Every 6-minute increments. So that's just a little bit about the Toolkit.law, our suites, and particularly the litigation suite. So this concludes our presentation, unless you have anything else that you want to add, Gigi?
No, I think you covered everything, Tom.
Okay, thank you and goodbye.